Hi, welcome to another At Wit's End podcast. This will be episode number 57. It is the first one recorded in the new year. So happy new year, everybody. Happy 2025. If you were on board listening before, you knew Carson was here for a short time. He is now back.
That's short.
Short as far as the podcast world, but
Yeah, couple podcast episodes.
Yeah, it went by pretty fast. Let's just say that. So
over a month.
Now you're back in Upper Austria in Linz. So you're
Back in
9,000
my
miles
studio.
away. Back in the our EU studio in Linz, Austria, and then along the beautiful Donau River, Danube.
As you can see, the warm climate with my shrubbery.
Yeah.
My
I will take credit for that too, because that thing was pretty dead looking when I was there, and I trimmed it and watered it, and it looks like it's doing okay.
It's grown some new branches.
Yeah. So it's midday here on a beautiful Sunday that's sunny. We are in our Northern California studios, so not affected by the terrible, disastrous fires that everybody knows about. So not a great time in Southern California. Carson's having some dreary weather, I think, right now. It's definitely winter in Austria. But I will say, those of you watching on our YouTube channel, he is wearing one of his discount Christmas hats. He bought multiple hats at one of the...
Mini.
I kind of want to say the U.S. is famous for hats, I think, lids. I mean, we have chains of stores they do in Europe as well, but not like here.
Yeah, I think the variety of hats are much more common in the U.S., the types of hats. I mean, then you get you have classic hats like I don't know what the style, but like the fedora style hats here in Austria.
Fedoras.
You see bucket hats in the UK is like a trend, but
I think those they're a trend everywhere. I noticed them at the college football games, university football games.
Yeah, it's much bigger in the UK.
Yeah, I think so too. I think
baseball hats, baseball made hats.
Yeah. So yeah, that was a result of I would say Christmas present.
This is a Mitchell and Ness Atlanta Braves hat, originally $40. I purchased for $5.
And Carson,
it's a high-end hat.
Carson used to live in Atlanta, so yeah, it is a high-end hat. They were very nice, and it's glad to see they were having sales.
It's just a nice hat. That's why I bought it. It just looks good.
And it was a result of a Christmas present. We got Kings basketball tickets. Unfortunately, we were there for the last game before the head coach got fired.
Yeah, the final Mike Brown era game. Although I think the teams are doing quite a bit better under Doug Christie.
Which surprises me. This was not intended to be a sports show, but now that we've kind of gotten into it, it does surprise me. They're doing really well. I think he was a good coach. They were blowing out Detroit pretty much the whole game and just collapsed. So we did not get to see the famous lighting of the beam. So sorry, Carson, you had to go home without the beam being lit. So to start the new year, this is kind of just a general... we don't do resolutions, but I gave myself a Christmas present. This is the second one I gave myself. The other one was a year ago. I had my second hip replacement. Go ahead.
I was going to say to end the old year, right?
Yeah. People go, you're doing what on New Year's Eve? I had my hip replaced on New Year's Eve. So that was the result of years of pain, I guess, and finally getting
it. Now you have two metal or ceramic?
Ceramic. So, as I think I said in the podcast when we reviewed it last year, I was a little paranoid going in because they're basically taking your femur, cutting off the top, putting a ball in, and popping it back in. This time I was a little more open to it, a little more relaxed about it, but anytime you go under anesthesia. But that said, American healthcare gets criticized quite a bit. I think our healthcare is fantastic. The financial payment end of it, maybe the distribution end, is where we falter here in the United States. With both hips, the cost was well over $100,000 billed insurance-wise. Let's just put it that way. But phenomenal. I went in. The surgery was at. I think I went in the operating room at 7:30 and was out by 10:30. Was pretty much ready to go home by 11:30, but nobody was there to pick me up.
Not my fault. I wasn't going on the messages.
Yeah. Anyway,
you were done earlier. Well, you were done. earlier than that actually, and it was way earlier than expected because you had said like 2 o'clock. So that's what I
Yeah.
was expecting,
Well, and
and
I
then like
expected that. I expected that too, just because on all the paperwork they gave me, it's all said I had an appointment at 2 o'clock, another one at 2:30. Discharge appointments. So I figured, if you guys are there by 12, you'll be sitting around for a while. So please,
and
but I
then
was
by
done
like
well
10
earlier.
o'clock, I think we got a message that you were ready, and you had like been ready at that point, or 10:30.
Yeah, I mean, they gave me
Is getting
scrubs
ready.
because I had nothing to wear because you guys had my stuff, and I declined to have my phone with me. I go, oh, what am I going to need my phone with, guy? So, advice: keep your phone with you, guys and gals that have surgery, because you may get
Or
bored.
remember phone numbers. You must have not remembered my phone number.
Yeah, I didn't, and that's the other thing of the modern times when everything's programmed in. I didn't know anybody else's phone number except for my wife's.
I do.
But then I did call around, and just as we were about to get a hold of Carson, I think you guys showed up. So that went well. Hats off to the folks at Sutter. That goes back. Wait, let me go back. Going back to the quality of healthcare, they did a phenomenal job. I mean, they even sent me a Christmas card. They followed up constantly, almost to the point where I said, "Leave me alone. I'm doing fine." So,
If for $100,000, I would kind of expect that.
well, yeah, but
How much?
still,
You know how much car you can get for that?
these
I
days,
think
not much. You might
I
get
think
the
that
new Toyota
you
Land
get
Cruiser.
you get the Corvette and have plenty of room to modify it.
Yeah. So, but
Because yeah, I mean, a new Corvette or a new Hip, I'd probably
yeah,
go with the new
folks, now you
Corvette.
see where Carson values it. He'd rather have his dad hand him down a Corvette than
I mean,
a
what am I
new
gonna
hip.
do with a Hip?
That's true. That's true. If there's any advice based on the two surgeries over the last year, I'd say take laxatives because I didn't realize the first time around that painkillers do affect you. So when they tell you to take some laxatives, make sure you take them. I was smart this time. Last time I didn't use the walker at all, and I was kind of proud of it. This time I did use it, so no shame in that. But
You
definitely using the
definitely
cane
did.
getting around. That said, the PT, physical therapist, and the nurse, they're going to clear me. It's been 12 days, so things are going well. This will be probably hopefully a fairly quick podcast because I don't want to sit in an office chair too long in the beautiful studios here in Northern California. But yeah, any questions you have, Carson? I know you were here for most of it.
I was just gonna say like what has been the biggest differences between hip left and hip right.
You know, and I hate to compare it to a woman in pregnancy, but they talk about the pain of
That's a
pregnant.
terrible way to say.
But I know the bad analogy. They talk about the pain, and you think after the pain of a first pregnancy, a delivery, why would you ever have kids again? And I think because you forget about it. But my first hip, it didn't. It seemed to go really fast, really well. I mean, I think I was up walking immediately. I could probably do it without a cane. That's why I didn't use the walker. The pain, I think, the damage to the hip was different with that surgery. So this time it just seemed a little more complicated and a little more, I don't want to say invasive, but just more recovery with this one. I think I spent a lot more time watching TV this time and taking advantage of it. I spent more time just chilling. That said, I watched a lot of streaming shows and I came across Landman. I think it's on Paramount. It's by the guy that does Yellowstone. And I was a big fan of Yellowstone early on, not so much because of the acting or the storyline, but because of the scenery and how it portrayed, Montana, Wyoming, that great part of the country. So I really like that. And with Landman, I was shocked at how it portrayed West Texas because it was pretty accurate. I've
Hey,
been to West.
Have you gotten to the Jerry Jones scene?
Yes, I watched the whole thing. I did watch the Jerry Jones thing, but
So just to preface, I have not seen Yellowstone. None of it. The only Yellowstone I've seen is like
mhm.
passing scenes when you guys watch it, and then I've not seen Landman. I don't tend to watch a lot of streaming stuff, uh, like streaming content on these apps, like Paramount and everything. Mainly because a lot of them I don't get here anymore, which
Yeah,
is
exactly.
annoying. Like I don't have access to Hulu anymore and stuff like that. But I just generally don't watch them a lot. So, but I did see because the Pat McAfee show covered the Jerry Jones part of it, and it was pretty funny. So I saw
I,
that
I
part.
I was surprised by that. What did you think of it without watching the rest of the show?
I mean, that's the only part of that show I've seen.
Yeah.
So
Well, what
it's
did
the
you
Jerry
think of Jerry
Jones.
Jones?
It was just very funny. It was
Jerry
yeah, it
Jones,
was,
the common man kind of thing.
yeah, but him like sitting over the hospital bed, like giving advice and
Advice to
everything.
the
It's
guy.
just
It's the guy from Mad Men, and I can't think of his name. He's the
yeah,
billionaire oil man. And God, what is the guy's name? The main star, Billy Bob Thornton. He's the
yeah.
main star of it. So he's the landman. And for those of you that don't know, it's all about oil in West Texas, or actually more so about energy. And not only the way it portrayed West Texas, because when you go out there, if how can I say this without insulting? There's nothing, not a beautiful area of the country, but it produces so much energy, and the people there are such great people. Definitely working class. So what? John Hamm. Yeah, John Hamm. I'm sorry. I thought we were having a technical difficulty, but your mind just
No, I
clicked
was
it
trying
with the
to.
name.
I
Yeah,
was looking up his name.
but it portrayed. And I haven't spent a lot of time in West Texas, but I have been there. It's also cotton country. You know, Texas Tech is a great university, and when you go out there, it is the only really thing in Lubbock. I mean, but I had the pleasure of spending some time meeting some locals, some ladies that were older, and you would never think they had money, but their husbands were cotton farmers. So there's a lot of money in West Texas, a lot of open ground, a lot of oil. It is just working class. But what I liked about it, not only that it portrayed it well, but they also talked about the energy industry in general. So, in California, we need wind farms, we need solar farms. And I've always said, no, they're not efficient. They don't produce enough energy to offset what it costs to put them in. And they actually talked about it on the show, which quite frankly surprised me. It showed the other side of the argument in energy. So I liked it quite a bit. It did criticize the oil industry, but it does actually show that we need the oil industry. So hats off to Sheridan for putting that show out
Nuclear.
there. Yeah, they actually talked about nuclear, and I've always said it. Nuclear is the cleanest energy you can have, but just the name nuclear scares people, and so it's off the shelf. People won't even
Yeah,
talk about it or consider it.
we've had this conversation
Yeah,
before. But speaking of nuclear, have you seen the new Enron CEO come out with the nuclear egg?
no, no, I haven't.
A tiny nuclear device about the
Fusion,
size of a baby.
and it can
That
create enough energy.
energy. Yeah, it's all fake, but it's fun to think about that Enron would do that.
I didn't even know Enron was still around, quite frankly. So
It's just
I'll
a
have to
meme
look
at
it up.
this point.
Oh, so it's fake.
It
Oh, fake news, or is
no,
it?
it's just a meme. The dude that is, I don't even know if he like owns Enron, but he's CEO of Enron, and
Well,
he's like 35 or something. And
it
yeah,
might be the same because some business partners I know that you've kind of met came to me about what's the stuff from who's a Marvel superhero, with the energy in
Iron
his
Man.
chest. What's that called? Energy that's produced by that. There are companies out there promoting that as a source of energy. I can't think of it. Basically, it's supposed to be clean and free energy. But anyway, that's a whole nother topic. Yeah, Landman I thought was great. Sheridan also produces Tulsa with Stallone, which I think is hilarious. I love that show as well. I think a new season of that's coming out. And then also went to my first concert, kind of snuck away.
I was gonna say you watched the Silo as well.
Yeah, I actually haven't finished it because I kind of got bored with it. I hate to say it. There's
Well,
like
you got the season two, didn't you?
yeah, yeah. So it was
It's
okay.
like
It's
it's
different.
just a story I've heard before, so or feel
Yeah,
like I've heard before.
I don't usually get to watch a lot of TV because the rest of my family bogarts the TV remotes. So for once, I got to see stuff I wanted to see. So I watched a lot of stuff, a lot of movies. Landman was the one that stuck with me.
Caparoni.
Crapperoni. Well, you went with me to see a movie. This was before the surgery. The Dylan movie. I happened to be wearing a shirt. What's it called? A Complete Unknown.
Something complete unknown.
Yeah,
Something unknown.
and I thought it was a pretty good movie. I don't know if you did.
Yeah,
So I'd
yeah.
give that a two thumbs up too.
I will say the press tour for that movie by Timothy Chalamet has made me like Timothy Chalamet a lot more.
Yeah,
The
he
he's been
played a
in
good
the,
Dylan.
but I'm saying like he's been doing a lot of like events. Like he was on the Pat McAfee show. He was on College Game Day.
Yeah,
He's been doing like a lot of random stuff. And actually, people found his old an old Twitter post where he won a competition as a kid, where he
to
won
look
free
like Dylan.
tickets to the New York Knicks game because
Hmm.
he ran into Knicks players at the like shopping mall or something,
Oh, really?
and he's like 10 years old,
Yeah.
and he's like a New York sports fan, so he's like just a like
Wow, that surprised
he's
me
a
because he
bro.
doesn't seem like a sports athletic kind of
No,
guy.
he's a
But then
big sports guy. Yeah,
most
I mean he's
celebrities and
on.
actors don't. So
Yeah, he's on game day. He's a big Knicks fan. I think he's a Rangers fan.
I will say I don't glorify or look up to too many but he gained a lot of respect. He did a great job in that role. One
He
thing that
was good. He
surprised
was
me
good.
about you, because you're somewhat of a musicologist, you didn't know who Joan Baez was.
Not a musicologist.
Well, you like your music, but I mean, she had
I
a
just
significant role
yeah.
in this. So
I wouldn't say I know my music.
yeah,
Don't
well,
recall.
whatever.
I just listen to Spotify. Yeah, I don't know my music.
Well, you know a lot of yacht rock because of me and stuff, that kind of music in '60s.
Yeah.
So,
Speaking of
but
there's a there's a guy on TikTok. I thought you and Larry would like. He runs a TikTok account. I think it's called Trackstar. I'm
let
fairly
me write
certain
this
you've
down.
seen it.
I'll
Uh,
use my new pen from Japan to write this down on my new Japanese notebook that sits flat.
I guess we'll talk about that in a sec.
TikTok guy, which might be banned soon.
I
So,
think it's called Trackstar, and this guy he does like gives someone headphones and like has them name the song
well, I
and
think I've listened to that before.
yeah, and he like then donates money to charity or if they're a celebrity or gives them money if they're not a celebrity, and a lot of times he does like yacht rock and stuff, and I thought you would really like some of the
Well, the funny thing is, as much as
videos he does.
they make fun of you, I shouldn't say make fun of it because now everybody's like embracing it. There's a huge Yakra concert tour coming out, and Christopher Cross is one of the guys in it. But they asked, and I can't remember his name, from Steely Dan, and I don't think I've ever really mentioned it. You
Dan.
know, Steely Dan was noted for not touring. They weren't like what you would call audience friendly. And they actually had a guy call up the guy from Steely Dan, the last remaining guy, and ask him if he'd be open to joining the tour. And he basically said, fuck off, and hung up on him, which I thought was hilarious. So guys like Christopher Cross, Kenny Logg, I think they're embracing it more. But then there's the guys that were definitely in, musicians and purists that are saying, screw you. Don't ever call it yacht rock, what I do.
Yeah, they're weirdos.
Well, anyway, and I did sneak off. Used my handicap access. We got some handicap seats at our local venue, and saw a concert the other.
Appropriately called the venue.
The venue, yeah. And really, I didn't know much about him. I think you know Dylan Scott. He was the headliner. This is a country show, folks. And then Jason Dean, and then a young lady. She's only 20 years old, called Abriana, and she was fantastic. And I got to admit, I was a little sexist. She was quite beautiful too, and she had a great voice. And I think I mentioned to you that Jackson Dean, when he came on, mentioned her and said, "What a beautiful voice!" And we just ended our European tour in Germany, so kind of cool that they were over there in your neck of the woods. But
Yeah,
good show. Kind of embarrassed to say, I really enjoyed the opening act of Avery. I thought she was fantastic.
it's
Jackson Dean was
interesting
good.
with a lot of the country artists, like the big ones won't come and perform over here, but a lot of like the up and coming
Up and
artists
coming.
do come and perform over here. But
Yeah, that's
rarely would like a big artist
yeah,
play over
yeah.
here.
Although you know who's coming, and I want to go see again. We've seen one of my favorites, and you were
The
going to try and
baseballs.
no, the baseballers are in Europe. They're not coming here. Country guy, South Carolina fan.
Yeah, Hootie.
Yeah, well, Darius. Come on, man, Darius
Hootie.
Rucker. So he's playing again at the venue, but Carson
He's
was
playing at
going
the
to try.
venue now.
Yeah, every Tim McGraw's playing.
Tim McGraw's playing at the venue.
Yeah,
No,
yeah,
no, he's not.
yes, he is. Yeah, look it up,
No,
man.
no way Tim McGraw is playing at the venue.
Yes, I'm telling you, he's listed. Look it up on the website right now.
Tim McGraw would
Fill a
should be
stadium.
playing at in one center.
Well, last time we saw Tim McGraw was at the Golden One Center. No, not at the Golden Sky Festival. He was the headliner for the huge country festival here. Folks, if you're listening, Carson does not trust me, so he's looking it up right now. So yeah, the venue. I mean, they have major. Jason Aldean just played, and I know he's not as
No
big as Tim
way he's
McGraw.
actually
Look
playing.
at some of the other names playing. I mean, yeah, Seinfeld, he comes regular. Who's playing before Seinfeld? Somebody big.
Going away on October 20th.
Well, I'm going to go. We actually bought tickets because it's a band I love called the Gin.
The price of tickets there is
Yeah,
absurd.
that's how they do it. They're absurdly well, actually not. They're
Just
in
to get in
line
the
with
door,
other
two
venues.
25.
Yeah, for the cheap seats. That's why we're not going to see Tim McGraw unless we get comped.
Oh, dude, you have to go. Victor Trevino Jr. is playing the Ultimate Elvis Experience in 4 days.
We are going to go see the Gin Blossoms though, because the Gin Blossoms are one of my favorite bands.
Oh, and Collective Soul. Yeah, okay.
Yeah,
That's
that should be a good show. I'm looking forward to that. So,
Power and War with the Family Stone.
seen them before. We're not going to see them again. So,
Fluffy, Gabriel
yeah, I've been
Iglesias.
asked to go see Fluffy. Now you're just advertising for him. But to talk about the show,
But
so,
actually, well, I'm just scrolling through the list, so I want to scroll through this list before we get back to
okay,
normal.
yeah.
Harry Connick Jr. I know his tickets are insanely expensive. They're
Yeah,
like
because
400.
I do like Harry Connick. We would have loved to see him, but I don't want to pay that money. So Harry, if you ever
Reba,
listen,
holy crap, Reba.
do you consider Reba that big a draw?
Yeah, yeah.
Okay,
Reba.
Yeah, she's an aristocrat as far as country goes.
Sticks.
They're playing everywhere every summer.
James Taylor.
Yeah, he's big. Seen him too many times.
Super Diamond, the Neil Diamond tribute.
Wait, Carson, when you were here, Snoop Dogg played.
Yeah, no,
So I
it's
was
crazy
asking
expensive.
people what was LL Cool J's coming,
Chicago.
and they always come.
Darius
But
Rucker is September 12th.
I asked people, I go, so how was the Snoop Dogg show? And they all loved it, said it was a great show, but yeah, pretty expensive.
Yeah, I can't believe Tim McGraw was playing there. That's crazy. That's
Wow,
mind blowing
catch
to
that.
me. Like he should definitely just be only at or arenas. But
So,
anyway,
so it's a step down. So, yeah,
yeah,
going back to the show I saw, I didn't really know Dylan Scott. I think you know him better than I do. So it was more for
yeah.
me to
I
get
heard
out of the
a few of
house.
his songs on Spotify.
Yeah. So that went good. So everything was great. Enjoyed the show. Had a few cocktails. Don't want to
How
tell
was
my
your
surgeon or doctor that.
handicap seating?
It was okay. It was in the upper deck, but that's why I was a little paranoid about it. I asked ahead of time. I go, okay, I don't want to climb steps because a lot of stadiums are pretty steep, especially in those upper levels. And
Like the Kings game we went to.
yeah, I would
I
not
thought you
go
were gonna
there.
fall down.
And that's before my surgery.
Yeah.
But no, we it was handicap seating. Most of those seats are not held by handicap folks, and I've always wondered about that. It was right next to the bar, but there was also wait service, so that was really nice. And the bathroom was right outside the door. And I didn't mind being far away, although all the seats are pretty good based on other venues. Because I didn't want people standing up in front of me or, standing up and singing and dancing the whole night. So it was perfect seating for being handicapped. Now, Collective Soul and the Gin Blossoms, we are down front. I didn't want to, not front, but in the lower level. And because there were no handicap seats left. So I asked, and they said, well, just tell the usher and they'll give you some handicap seating off to the side somewhere. So looking forward to that show. God, there's a show
Interesting.
at the Crest Theater I want to see too. I'll have to see about that later on. I can't remember
Yeah.
who that is. So we also talked a little bit before about Christmas. So
Yeah.
for
So
the
I did it a little bit different this year. So if you have listened to some of our recent episodes, you'll know that I went to Japan recently. And if you know anything
Tokyo,
about Japan, and Tokyo specifically, the shopping is absurd. So I did quite a bit. And I really didn't know what to get anyone, so I didn't get anyone anything. I got everyone everything. And I did kind of a gift exchange, fantasy football snake order draft style,
kind of
where
like a white elephant. Yeah.
I put no names on any of the gifts, and each we did like a draft in the snake order draft, and they went up and picked a gift and opened it. At the end of each round, they could trade with each other, so people got gifts they liked, but everyone had to go home with something. So,
I will say,
um,
folks, the thing that was unbelievable is that he brought so much crap home for Christmas. Our tree went from a few presents around the bottom to just stacked
it's
everywhere
jam
on
packed of
furniture.
stuff.
And I'm going, where did he put all this crap? So when I say
Most of
crap,
it was
it's
quite
yeah.
small. Most of it was quite small. So like there was a lot of just small things and little knickknacks. He has the most expensive thing I bought. He'll probably show us here.
What is that? Should I show it now?
Well, I'm just explaining, but he has the most expensive thing I actually purchased.
which is a hoodie sweatshirt.
Yeah, I didn't buy a ton of like expensive stuff, so I just bought a ton of stuff, just random stuff, really.
But you did buy me a nice pen, so that wasn't as expensive as the hoodie.
No,
Or
no,
not even close.
no. I could have spent that much on a nice pen. The hoodie I actually technically bought for myself. I don't even know what those are. I bought those at 7-Eleven.
Yeah, so those of you not watching on the YouTube channel, while Carson was talking, I held up a bag. It's yellow, Japanese writing all over it, cherry blossom tree.
Candy.
It's a candy. And so I'm going to put one in my mouth now as Carson tells you about it.
I'm not gonna tell anything about it because I don't know what it is either.
Okay, I was going to ask you because I have no idea what it is.
I just went to 7-Eleven. I grabbed stuff off the shelf.
I thought it was a gumi, but it's rock hard. It looks like it's in an acrylic form, and it looks like a booger inside
It's a
of there.
candy.
But I think it's a cherry blossom. What was it in? What do you call it? Amber. It looks like an amber stone with something inside of it.
Oh yeah, I can see it. Oh yeah.
Yes. So
Interesting.
I think based, and I'm
Hopefully it is
unable
candy.
to read Japanese, but since there's a cherry blossom on it, I'm assuming that's a dried out cherry. So I'm gonna give it a shot, put it in my mouth.
I'd
Carson
laugh
can
if
keep
it was
talking.
like soap or something. That'd be pretty funny. Well, put it in your mouth.
Yeah, it's rock hard, so I'm not gonna chew it. Right now, folks, it doesn't taste like anything.
Let it go in your mouth.
Yeah, so go. We'll talk about some of the other gifts. One of the things, very nice
Yeah. So
packaging and bags. Keep
yeah,
talking.
I went to the Liberty Walk store. So this is a store I wanted to go to. Liberty Walk is a car modifier, one of the most famous ones in Japan, in the world actually.
Well,
And
would you
both
say they became famous because of what movies? The drifting movies, aren't
because of
they?
the cars they built is why they became famous.
Oh, I thought it
You
was
and I
famous
have
because
no, you and I have other companies kind of were famous, but were famous before that. That you had to be famous to get into that movie. All the car companies in Tokyo Drift were famous before those movies. But he's sucking on a candy. His face is funny. But Liberty Walk is a famous automotive aftermarket modifier of vehicles, especially like high end exotic and luxury cars. Famously have like an F40. They do a lot of Ferraris, Lamborghinis, like GTRs are their most famous probably. And you and I have both seen their cars in person
hmm
at SEMA, quite a lot of them actually.
for those of
And
you who don't
so
know, SEMA is the gigantic automotive show in Vegas every year.
yeah, aftermarket
Aftermarket.
automotive parts conference. But yeah, I went to their retail shop. It's just a clothing and gift store in Tokyo, so picked up
Yeah,
some
so
stuff
I'll
there.
hold up. Carson got a couple of things. I didn't because of the gift exchange thing. I didn't get the cool shirt, but I was able to swipe away the hoodie from my brother who got it. My brother got all the cool stuff initially, and then got it
He
sold.
did get a lot of good stuff.
So I can understand the hoodie being super. I was gonna wear it on this show. There's the
The
logo
most
and stuff.
expensive.
That's
This is the most
it's
expensive I bought it.
it's so expensive because it is the thickest hoodie I have ever put on and felt.
It's a really nice hoodie,
After my
high
surgery,
quality.
yeah, I was cold and I put this thing on. I'm never cold when I wear it. So I don't understand. I've never seen anything this thick. And I put it on to wear on this show, but it was just too thick to wear and
Nice
show it.
hoodie,
So it definitely is a nice
and
hoodie,
like so
cool
that
graphics.
like like that car on there. It's got the livery of the Mazda 787B that won the Le Mans 24 Hours, the first Japanese car to win Le Mans, and that's my favorite livery of all time. I absolutely love that green orange with the
So for those of you not into cars and don't know what
like,
livery is, it's the
it's the
graphics
paint
design of the
scheme,
outside.
the
Yeah,
graphics.
yeah.
That hoodie was especially cool to me. That's why I bought that one because I liked it.
And here's the car again. Carson brought, like you said, some small things. These are
Oh, you got the
keychains.
keychain too. So yeah, the keychain
Yeah,
on the left is
that's
RH7 from the hoodie. The keychain on the right, do you know what that is?
bullet train.
It's the bullet train.
Yeah,
The Shinkansen. My brother got the more rare version of that keychain, which is also the more rare version of the bullet train that people really look for. It's the yellow version. And I actually saw the yellow version at Tokyo Station too, which is cool.
yeah, yeah. So just to keep you up on what's happening with this candy, I'm starting to kind of like it, but there's really no flavor to it. It's like kind of coating my mouth. Look, since we're on the topic of cars, so Carson, they're like little matchbook cars. I haven't opened them yet.
Oh, you got that one too?
Yeah, I
The
got this.
Tomaikas. So I went to the Tomaika store in if you know Tokyo Station. Tokyo Station has a
Yeah,
ton of shopping below
what is
it.
Tomaica?
Tomaika is like Hot Wheels, but they
Like
made
matchbook Hot
nicer.
Wheels. Yeah,
Yeah, like diecast cars. They're usually nicer and cooler, more normal cars. So he
yeah.
has a 1X there, which
Which
is
is
super
it
cool.
is a car. It's cool, but I wanted to show this first because here's what I got the first time, and I kept it. It's a rotor tiller. It's the 115 rotor tiller made by Honda. So this company actually
Nice.
makes some bizarre stuff. I haven't opened it yet because I kind of want
Should
to
I,
keep it in the original packaging. You want me to
I was
open
to
it
say,
now?
no, you can leave it
I
in
mean,
the
I'm
original.
not going to give it away.
There's
I can
some
open it.
they're mass manufactured, so you can yeah. It's so funny. So I also one of them we also got was a box truck. Someone got a
I
box
don't know who got the
truck.
box truck.
I
Somebody
think
got it.
Jack
Yeah.
got the box truck, and then Grandma got the one I actually wanted but gave away was the rare or the limited edition Datsun pickup 4x4.
Yeah,
That
but
was
you'll get that
super
back
cool.
eventually. All right, so here I've taken the outer off. Oh, you got to put them in. Oh, so this is a stand. Oh no, it's a
Probably.
person.
Yeah,
Oh,
I don't
I'm gonna
know.
watch it. I don't think I'm
I'll
gonna put
think
it
it.
together. Yeah, so little stickers that I have to put on. So that's actually kind of like a little model. Get the little guy. So this would be a Jap. This would
It's
be
a
a
little
Japanese.
clear.
Yeah, it's a little gardener, and so he would be pushing the Honda 115 rototiller, which is that right there,
Let me see
red
it.
and
Show
white.
it. Put it up higher.
I'm sorry. I mean, it's pretty accurate,
That's super
and
cool.
the wheels move. If I'm into lawn care or something, or had a landscape company, or that's pretty awesome.
That actually looks really nice. That's high quality.
Yeah, I'm not
I
gonna
like it.
open the other one.
Yeah,
Just
the other one's the
like it.
180 SX.
It's a regular car. So talking about models, one of everybody got a kick out of it. It is, I would say, one of the favorite gifts. It had to be put together. And for those of you that don't know, it's a rectangle shaped building with a door on it. And you open the door and you find out it's got a toilet. It's an
It's
outhouse
a
model.
porta potty.
And
Yeah,
it's
so
even got a little toilet paper in there.
that was from a gotcha. The little things that you put your money in, you twist it, and you get a little ball.
Oh, how appropriate. I just hit the center of this candy. So
You also just turn on the tracking of your camera.
that's okay. Oh,
It's
shoot.
alright. It's alright. It's alright.
Yeah. Yeah, folks, one of the things we did get was a new camera for the video, and it can track you when you hold up your hand and give it the signal to track you, which I accidentally did. But so the outhouse, I kind of want to spit this candy out now. I think it is the cherry, dried up cherry on the inside.
Is it a dried up cherry? Or is it like a cherry pit?
I don't know. I'm taking it
Don't
out.
show me. That was gross.
I feel like Dave Portnoy doing a review of Japanese candy.
What is it?
I guess it's a cherry pit. I don't know. I'm gonna keep it in for a while.
Thing.
Okay.
Where were we? Yeah, the
Kind of.
outhouse was from a gotcha machine. I put it
Oh, so this
together.
came out of a vending machine.
Yeah, the
Oh,
little
okay.
like the one you get. So what did you get? Like I think you got food, didn't you? You got like food on a keychain.
Oh yeah. Well, I
Yeah.
don't know where that is. So we had keychains. I thought you meant I was gonna open this too because I do have other Japanese food that I'll open here.
You sure it's food?
So
It's not like bath salts.
it says gumi on it. That's the only thing that's not in Japanese. And bath,
So
BAT.
just a tip, by the way, you can translate images on Google Translate.
With a phone. But yeah, it would take away from the joy of doing it on this show. So it is in green foil packaging. It says gumi on it. I'm gonna open it up and I'll try it. I shouldn't say scares me about it, but if you're into Japanese things and culture, you'll notice they make candies out of some weird stuff. On the outside of this picture are green peas, little peas. So I'm wondering if these gummies are made from vegetables.
What if they're just shaped like green peas?
No, because I think it's shaped like a bat and a bear because they're pictures of animals. I'm smelling it, folks, and I can't really describe what the hell this smells like.
You see the gummy bear?
Okay, I'm going to eat a hippo. It's a gummy. It's yellow looking.
Please tell me it's peas. It's chewing.
What it is.
He doesn't know what it is.
Again, I feel like Portnoy doing a pizza review. You know what?
He at least knows what he's eating.
Yeah, I'm not gonna give it a rating, but I'll eat the rest of these.
All right, we'll
Um,
still move on to
yeah.
next gift.
Okay. He also brought home a lot of post-it notes.
So, if you don't know, stationery in Japan is a very big deal.
Brought home pens,
It's
a really nice
pretty
pen,
cool.
but this one's also one a daily user.
Yeah,
Everybody
multicolor,
that's used
cool
it
one.
says very cool pen. Been a great pen.
Yeah, the post-it notes are quite funny. You got the butt ones, so they're like big butts of animals,
Yeah, and I don't
big
have the
bellies of animals.
don't really
Well,
have
you
the
got
handy.
this. You got like the stingray one, didn't you?
Yeah, that's this
Manta
one right
ray.
here. I've been using it. It actually is very good. So it's a
I will
stinger.
say, I sent you a video recently. Like, Japan has really cool stationery, like in the stuff that's a part of the stationery. So
Yeah,
if you're looking for interesting, I'm watching the camera follow you around. It's funny.
yeah.
Interesting stationery items. Look to Japan.
What? And if you've listened to the last podcast where we talked about his Tokyo visit, Carson went to cafes that had cats, otters, right? So I think Japan also has a fascination with cats. And
Oh yeah,
so
yeah,
here's a
definitely.
puzzle with cats, I think, and then a post-it note with cats.
That's a
And
Shiba. That's a dog.
that's a dog.
That's a Shiba Inu.
Oh, it
It's
looks
a
like a
Shiba
cat though.
Inu. It's a
Well, this
Doge.
is definitely a cat. And I
That's
don't.
a cat.
These are just notes to give somebody, right?
Those are yeah, those are just cards, stationery.
Yeah.
They're quite
And
cute.
so some of the other weird, I didn't bring them all in, but we haven't put this together yet, but it does have cats in it. You'll see two little cats here.
You
And
see
I
the
think
image
it's
on the back.
basically a model that
Just
you build.
it's a diorama.
Yeah. I think these are pretty common in Japan.
It's just a cute one. Those are
Yeah,
common everywhere nowadays. I mean,
they
mom
really.
got a different one for Christmas.
I do like the Pokemon. He did bring us Pokemon cards.
Those
These are ball
are
markers for golf, which
ball
I'll definitely
markers.
use.
Yeah, so one of the things I did during the gift exchange, the like white elephant, whatever, was I did like group gifts. So someone, it's
I just hit the cherry pit again.
so when someone would get a gift where there were seven of the same item, you got to give out those gifts to the rest of the group. So one of them was seven packs of Pokemon cards from the Pokemon station in Shibuya Crossing. I also did stuff like seven packs of chopsticks, seven erasers, seven chopstick holders, seven keychains, and they got the whoever got that as a gift got to kind of hand it out and re-gift
Yeah.
basically, which I thought was a funny.
And I do have, so here's the chopsticks. So the Japanese chopsticks are, I would say, smaller and more pointed than, say,
They're
the
pointed
Chinese,
than
right?
Chinese
Yeah.
ones, yeah. Yep.
And,
I like
if
those
you're,
better.
yeah, if you're going to do things right, you also got to have little tables so they
Okay.
don't touch the table. So that would sit there. So to educate those who didn't know, there is a difference in chopsticks.
And I got those on in as I talked about on the previous episode about my visit to Tokyo. There's a street dedicated to like restaurant things, and I got those all at the restaurant streets.
So there is, I don't think I got it, but one of the family members must have left it. And I really don't know what it is. They're
Oh,
stickers.
it's tape. Yeah, roll stickers. Oh, that's the roll
They're the
stickers.
stickers. Oh, so there was
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
stickers. So
So
what do
you
you
got
do
the
with these?
stickers. You
Are
just
these
put it on
sayings?
things. Yeah,
They look
like
like corporate
calendars.
logos. Okay.
So that's from I can't
Looks
remember
like
the
from
name. It's like the travel company or something. It's a very famous shop, like very popular with people who travel,
what?
and they
Okay, nameplate on the front of a train. Oh, so these are from trains. So
probably or something.
yeah.
But the company the shop where I bought that is very popular for like stationery and little travel gifts, and that was yeah one of the things I bought from the store.
Okay, I'm hitting the cherry pit thing now. Um, I would spit it out, but I'm kind of getting to like it. It's kind of sour tasting. It's salty.
Weird.
I'm gonna stick with it because I'll finish
Found
at
a
the end
new
with something.
candy you liked.
I don't know if I like it or not, but it's kind of addicting. I think these are bath salts, so I'm not gonna open it.
Yep, yeah, that's for Bath.
He did bring home some magnets, which are on our fridge. Tokyo ornaments
Yo
from the
Disney
tree.
ornament.
But I did want to tell you, Carson, you left this like a moisturizing
I
cream
didn't leave
sampler.
that. That's
Well,
for
it
you.
was a gift. I mean, somebody, I don't know if I got this or somebody did, but I started to
No,
use it.
I think
Was this
mom
mine?
got it.
Okay. So I used the facial moisturizer probably a week ago, and I still feel it on my face.
Well,
And
I
I've
mean,
been taking
so
daily showers, so I think it's
the
working. I think they
the
use
um
the
the
makeup
thing
industry
with
there is
like
probably.
Japan, people really love their skincare items. So I brought back like 5 packs of different skincare. Jack actually got my brother got the men's skincare pack that I got.
Makes
And then
sense.
I got like 4 different like women's like different variety packs. They're like little travel packs of different
That's
things.
probably what this is, but I've
Yeah, that's
embraced
what
my
that
own
is.
sexuality. I can use whatever, so
But
kind of
yeah,
kinky
skincare
stuff.
products are really sought after by like the Western world, Korean and Japanese ones.
Okay, I'm
And
spitting this
I
out.
bought the cheap ones. I didn't want it because you can spend a lot of money on skincare product.
Yeah, I would think so. So I just spit out that candy. I would say I'll probably try it again when I've gotten used to that taste. So, anything else you want to talk about your gifts?
But you didn't show the notebook, the
Oh,
award-winning
well,
notebook.
I wrote on it. So this is a notebook Carson brought. It keeps asking if I'm using it, so I am, but I don't want you to see
Campus.
notes or
It
stuff.
is a it's a
So
campus notebook. You can buy
it
those at
sits
7-Eleven.
flat. Yeah, you can buy them at can see stores. 7-Elevens are pretty. I guess you.
But the thing
Yeah.
with that is so it won a like an award because it sits completely flat on your desk when you write on it. And the reason that is useful is because then you can write across the whole both sheets of paper and it's a useful space. And if you need to take a picture of what's on there, you can take a picture of it and it's easily readable.
Okay,
It
I
makes
never
the
thought of
full
that.
notebook it makes the full notebook usable.
At first, I thought a solution looking for a problem, but it is a nice notebook.
No, no, it's actually like when you think about a notebook that like you can't use the middle of it, like
Right.
it's
So you
uncomfortable to
lose
write
an
on.
inch. Right.
Yeah,
So this
yeah,
you
and
write
so
straight
that
across.
yeah, you can go straight across the paper. That's the whole point of it.
And there was a lot more, like the nice pen Carson got me and stuff like that.
Mickey ears.
Yeah, the Mickey ears and stuff, which are up.
I got you unique ones too with the Journey to the Center of the Earth ones.
And folks, I don't think, thankfully, there's a picture of it, but as I was laying on it, when I got cold, I did put on the Mickey ears hat because Carson brought two of them. Somebody got the one that's black. My wife got the
My
one that's
aunt.
white. Yeah, his auntie, but it was kind of like a beanie but it was made out of corduroy. And I got to tell you, when I wear it, it was really warm. It was keeping me
It's
warm
nice,
after the
yeah.
surgery. So I look
And
like a fool, but
I like those ones a lot because they have a patch that says Tokyo Disney on it.
yeah,
So
they seem
they're
pretty good
special.
quality
Yeah,
and
they're
not
really
just cheap.
nice. They're definitely more unique than like the I think the you get it
Yeah,
uh, normal Disneyland. I will show the one. So I took 2 things home from Tokyo that I kept for myself. One is actually 2 magnets, so I collect magnets for places I visit. I got a Tokyo and a Japan one, so 2 magnets. But also, I talked about it in the past Japanese episode. The custom keyboard shop, and I bought a
yeah,
DIY
that's right.
keyboard kit, and I built it. It's just a macro pad with a little knob on it, so you can kind of see
Tech
it.
nerds will be into it and understand.
I soldered it all myself and did all that, so I just wanted to do it. It's just kind of like a more complex puzzle. That's all. It's nothing crazy, but it's a lot of fun. And yeah, that was sadly the only thing I brought myself home.
Yeah, I didn't even get a T-shirt. Well, wait, you got something that says Japanese on your T-shirt. So you should get
And
yourself
this
a T-shirt.
is I bought this in the U.S. This Dragon Ball Z shirt.
Well, this did not come from Tokyo or Japan or anything, but it was during Christmas. So Carson also made glühwein for everybody. And for
Did
those of you who haven't visited the Christmas markets in Europe, glühwein is that warm wine they serve.
also referred to as mold wine.
Yeah. So this I saw it's candy, and I didn't know it. I just thought it was a box, but it's actually a little crate that they would deliver the
Yeah,
glühwein on. So to get the taste of that,
they're glühwein
it's very
bottles.
yeah, little glühwein bottles. It's chocolate with glühwein in it, so I'm saving it to get the taste.
If you don't know what glühwein is, it's like a dry wine that has some spices in it. It's usually served warm or hot.
Wow, it was not what I expected.
What did you expect? What is
Well,
it?
it is glühwein in there, but the chocolate on the outside is very crisp, almost crunchy, and the glühwein. Luckily, it didn't spill all over the place, but it did spill out a little bit.
Is
But
it spicy?
very,
Has this- Good
I
spice to
think
it.
I think more spicy than the glue vine we made. So
If you don't know,
definitely took
like
away the taste.
the way I made my blue line, water, sugar, cinnamon.
Hmm.
There was one other thing and some orange peels, and then you use like a dry wine. Chianti is the best one, which I got 2 bottles of that, which my dad loves because he uses Chianti bottles as candlestick holders, and he chips a candle over.
You know what's yeah, people go. My family gives me a hard time about it, but everybody that comes over at parties in the house love them. It's kind of a redneck thing, but it has kind of a high end decorative.
I
It's
wouldn't say
great.
high end.
I would say high end.
It's a nine
That's a
ninety nine
classy
bottle
joint
of
thing.
Chianti.
Well, it's not the bottle; it's the candles and how many candles and the different colors of wax on it over the years. So
Or
anyway, but that's what I got for the new year. I don't make resolutions, but looking forward to a good year. Oh, Carson's. What else we got here?
what was your favorite gift from the Japanese Christmas exchange? That's probably the hoodie, right?
Well, yeah, the hoodie. I think the toilet outhouse. I don't think I got, but I thought it was pretty funny.
My
The
mother
pen
got
I
that.
like. The pen I like. I haven't used it yet. The higher end pen. I really wanted that T-shirt that your uncle got, and then before I could steal it away, it
The
was I
T-shirt
would
is
bring it
a
home.
it's
Yeah,
a Liberty Walk T-shirt and it has their famous blue F40 on it. It's a white
yeah.
shirt with like the blue F40 and some additional writing on it. Really cool T-shirt.
So like that Liberty Walk bumper sticker. I don't.
Yeah,
What
the
should I put that on the
Japanese. Oh,
truck?
one of them is
I only
specific
have
to that
one.
shop only, so it's kind of rare.
Okay.
Hey, you just put it on whatever. I
I
should
just
have
wonder
taken
if
it and put it on my suitcase.
yeah, I just wonder if people like they'll see it on a Ford F-150 going, why is that guy got a Liberty Walk? Should be on a
Uh,
Japanese little Miata or something, little Toyota. So anyway, looking forward to a good year. Like I said, I don't make resolutions. We're gonna try and get more regular on the episodes. We'll have more guests over time. Looking forward to the football season with JKU. Carson did bring me. He can't really see it. There's the new hat from JKU.
Not that
Right
one, the other one.
there. Yeah. So those of you listening and not watching, it's a solid blue. Carson designed it, picked out the hat. Like I said, looking forward
Has
to a
a
good year.
duck logo on it.
Yep. And you got some additional family visiting this year. So it'll be a big year for you too. Be a busy one after winter gets through. So with that, let's go
Yeah,
watch
we'll
some
wrap up
football.
episode 57 on this wild card weekend.
Yep.
I don't know or you'll care, but I thought it was interesting. Earlier today, I'll just finish with this. I was watching the FA Cup, which is
Yeah.
the English FA Cup soccer, and I was watching Tamesworth, who's a non-league club, played in the
Hmm.
same. So if you remember, Wrexham started in the National
Yeah.
League.
Yeah.
So Tamesworth plays in the National League, and then we're playing Tottenham, who plays in the Premier League. So the National League is non-league football, and the Premier League, Tottenham, is the top of
Yeah.
league football. So there are 5 divisions above, and they played today in this tournament. And Tamesworth took them to extra time. So it was 0-0. It took Tottenham 100 minutes. They didn't score until the 100th minute, and then eventually they won 3-0 in extra time. But for Thames and Tottenham had to play at Tamesworth, which holds like a couple thousand people.
See,
Tottenham
that's
Hotspur
awesome.
Stadium in London holds like 80,000 people.
I always root for the underdog. Did they have?
So
I would assume. Did people travel though to see it? And I assume it was sold
there
out.
were there were a few Hotspur fans there. Yeah, I mean the stadium was jam packed as much as I
Yeah.
could, but like the difference with like Tamesworth is it holds a couple thousand people, and people are like on the railings, and like instead of like mounted cameras like you have around Hotspur Stadium, like ready for TV, just dudes on the side like holding cameras for the broadcast and everything. Like, it's such a different feel, and like the announcers were like in the stands basically.
Well,
With
that's
they
cool.
probably had
With
that like
those square
classic like
mics.
the mics that are
Yeah,
right on
the
their
duck
mouth, on
mics.
their
Yeah.
lips. Yeah, yeah.
Well,
So
yeah,
it
you
was
gotta
really
get
cool to
back.
watch.
You gotta get into your
Yeah,
Schwarzenweiss
football.
and
Yeah.
so.
So anyway, wanted to hear episode
Oh
57
wait,
of.
I'll say one last thing, then let's sign off. Carson will actually be rooting for Notre Dame for the first time ever, I think.
Yeah, so I hate Ohio State more. And Marcus Freeman has gotten me to like a little bit of Notre Dame. but it's the worst national championship that could possibly happen.
Let's say that.
But like for my fandom, it is the worst.
Okay. Okay. With that, we'll sign off. Cheers. Have a great 2025.
See you later.
Bye.
I'm at Witt's End.